friends, this is Laura with Gone to the Horses. First off, I just want to thank a couple of my subscribers because they put out some really nice comments and encouraging comments for me to keep going with my channel, and it was just really nice to get those little comments, and it just makes me want to put out better and better videos. So first off, I just want to thank you guys for sending me those comments. That was awesome. This video is with my 18-year-old quarter horse, and we went out to do an obstacle course that day for a training session, and he came out very hot, very forward, and not reactive. And as you will see, I just kind of wanted to put him in a little circle and get him to just be quiet for a minute to find a starting point. So when he decided that he was going to be quiet, I did something that was super simple for him and he's done a million times, which is just throw the rope over him and touch his legs and just get him to kind of just relax and say everything is fine, this is not a hard session. So obviously you push him to a pushing point, and you just saw there that he reacted when I put the rope over my head, which I have done quite a few times in his lifetime. So he's just being very reactive today. So I need to go back and I need to find a spot where he is comfortable with what I am doing. So I go ahead and just ask him to stop and let him look at the rope and sniff it. And then, as you can see, he's just very reactive today. It was cold and it was windy and I hadn't really been working him too much. So he just came out hot. So I'm just going to go ahead, and what I'm doing is just something really simple, walking around him and just playing with the rope a little bit to say, look, everything's okay. And he's being reactive. He kicks his little foot out at me like, I don't know, Mom, I'm just really not into this today. So as you can see, I didn't react. I didn't do anything. I kept doing what I was doing and just not paying attention to him and just saying, look, I'm the dominant one and this is what I'm asking. You got to trust me and you got to be calm about what we're doing because we've done this before. You can do this. I know he can do this. And so he's got to learn that I asked him to do that. He trusts me. Therefore, he's going to do it. And as you can see, he's licking and chewing. He's looking off. He's looking very smart and inquisitive. I call that his smart, inquisitive look. Like, Mom, I know what I'm doing. This is all good. So he was good. He's putting his ears up. So I went ahead and I redid over my head that he had reacted to earlier. And as you can see, he doesn't care. He's not even looking at me. He's actually looking off, which is not the best thing to do. So I'm going to stop there for a minute. And I'm just going to kind of talk about a few things in this after going back and looking at it, what I've seen. The first thing is that he is kind of looking off, and I don't usually like that, and I probably shouldn't have permitted that. I should have kind of asked him to look at me and pay attention to me more, and that may have caused him to react again, and I may have had to go back to the beginning and start back to just walking around him with the rope. The problem was I didn't have a lot of time, and like a lot of us amateur riders and amateur owners doing it all, sometimes we only have a certain amount of time for a session, and at this time I only had about 10 minutes or so left working with him, and so I did not want to get in another argument with him. The one thing you don't want to do in a session is you don't want to end on a bad note. You don't want the horse coming out of the arena frustrated, mad, tense, all upset. You don't want to leave the arena mad, tense, all upset, because I think the best thing about working with horses, and one of the best things that I love about horses, is that they are so very forgiving. If you do something wrong and next day you come back and you fix that, they are going to totally respond to what you're doing at that time that is working versus what happened yesterday. They don't hold grudges like people. They're like, oh, Mom came back out, this is so much better, and we are feeling more confident together, I'm trusting her more, then that's all that matters. I have done so many different training methods with my horses because sometimes one method works better than another, or I find something else that I try that seems to work, and then maybe I blend the two together to get some results that I really want. No matter what I do with my horse, whether it's wrong or it's right, they accept me every single day with no judgments at all. And I think that's what makes working with horses like so rewarding for me, and why I want to share my experiences and what I do with my horses with my subscribers, because it is such a great feeling where you don't have to say, oh my God, I screwed up, I screwed him all up, I've made a mess of things. You don't have to do that. You just need to go back, reevaluate, think about what you've done, think what you can do differently, get a different result, and then go back and do it again the next day, and they still love you. So that's the best thing about it, and you can't screw it up. The only way you can screw it up is keep doing the same thing over and over again wrong and creating the same bad or negative reaction. Just don't do that. Just go back and say, that was wrong, let me go and try something a little bit different. The other thing I wanted to bring up was, obviously my horse has been working with the rope for a long time. So I don't know where you are with your horse, if it's a horse that you have had for a long time, or it's a new horse, or it's a horse you just don't know, or it's a young horse. But your first steps to desensitizing a horse to something is find out where they're most comfortable with that. So with the rope, if you have a horse you don't know, then you just take that rope and that stick and you let them sniff it. And maybe you touch their shoulder with the stick. So you're just going to hold the stick and you're going to rub it on his back, and you're going to rub it down his back legs, and you're going to make sure that he's happy with everything. And then if he's good with that and he seems quiet and he's calm and you like the way that he looks, then you take the string and you kind of just put the string over his neck and put the string over his back, and you start working tiny baby steps until your horse reacts. Maybe not as much as Chic reacted, because he's very reactive. Some horses are much more calm and introverted, and they will maybe to you just put their head up, or they may just move a step or pin their ears, or something very subtle that you don't like, that's a negative reaction, so that you'll go back wherever you got that negative reaction from and do it again until you get a positive one. And you always want to give your horse a break as well. So once they've done something well and you think they've had enough, walk off. Go do something that they enjoy doing, whether it just be walking on a circle or whatever it might be. Just standing there and doing nothing. Some horses just like, oh shoot, I don't have to do anything, I just want to stand here, I'm happy. And that's great. And then go back, continue what you were doing, start maybe where the negative response came from, and then add from there. And there are so many things with the rope that you can do, and so you can keep adding to it. Once you feel like, okay, there's great with just me, putting the rope over them, now maybe I'll just start slapping the ground with the rope, and you can get stronger and stronger with the slapping. You can get behind them and move the rope around behind them, in front of them, over them, on their sides. Lots of things. And then once you've decided that your horse is very confident with you and comfortable and trusts you, then you can take that rope up onto his back, and you can do all those same exercises with you on his back, walking, first standing, then walking. So you can see where I'm going with all this progression stuff, right? And that's what desensitization is all about. So when they see something that moves up above them, or something on the side of them that moves, you've done this rope desensitization where their reaction shouldn't be anything, or should be a lot less than it would have been if you didn't do this rope exercise. So there's lots of different ways to desensitize, a lot of things you can do to desensitize a horse, and I'm going to do desensitizing videos, this kind of part of my training, all of the time. So I'll be putting things out like this a lot. Once Chic decided that he was going to be good about throwing the rope over his head, I just went ahead, like I said, and let him go off and do something that I know he enjoys and he's relaxed. So once I got his trot going and he's relaxed, I quit the session. And that was it for me, and I was happy with that. We ended on a good note. And I'll come back tomorrow and I'll either do the obstacle course that I wanted to do originally if he's nice and quiet, or maybe I'll go, you can see the ball in the background, I may go and play with the ball. But desensitization is a huge part of just having a confident, trusting horse under you that you can just ride safely and enjoy. If you have a horse that you're not sure how it's going, or you have a question, just leave a comment below. I would love to answer any questions that you have and help you with your horse as much as I can. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And like this video, that would also be awesome as well. So I got some awesome videos coming up that I'm getting ready to produce. I'll definitely be posting fairly regularly, at least once a month, hopefully twice a month. If you have any comments or questions about your horse, I would love to listen and comment and help you as much as I can with them. I would really enjoy that. That would be awesome. And I will see you next time on Gone to the Horses. Bye everybody.